Jo. Machen wir weiter. Ja. Okay,
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Tyler Sadi gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape. She puts a coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. This does not surprise her. Did he? Smile flits across her face. I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me. On this tape, he specifically identifies you as a target. Where did they get this recording exactly? It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough. Rasiert. Ja. Gute Raphael hat sich mal rasiert, aber hat's dann direkt wieder bereut irgendwie. She arches a brow. Does he says he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Oh, ich weiß es nicht mehr. Something to that effect, yes. Lieutenant checks his notes and nods. The phrase was used. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was practically his pickup line. She picks the cup back up. Does he say horse a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Leishman style? Leishman was mentioned. He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Leishman. It was in his everything. You think he was trying to scare people? No, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. And then had to internalize them to keep on living, until they just sort of turned it into his... He thinks. What's the word I'm looking for? Persona? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke, and it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Larry's punchlines got way funkier than that. It was like the Seminole conflict, the Elysium massacre, and the 36 famine in Yeset all rolled into one person, then cast in Orangier's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. When he said it was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like a deeply troubled man. Hold on, he said. It was mentally done. That sounds like a broken man to me. Well, she smiles. Maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality. Weren't you afraid? Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Elysium. I would be tearing it up, soldier of the apocalypse style. Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? Here in Martinez, I mean. No, we were too busy laying waste on our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed, she thinks, he seemed happy, I guess, at ease, as much as a man like him could be. There's a small measure of pride in her, that she could quell the rage in such a being. Thank you for clearing that up, miss. It turns to you. Whenever you're ready, I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now. Now that you've had time, but can you tell us more about the victim? Like, for example, his name. Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely. A nickname? I guess. It came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use. Lelystad. That's a good start. The lieutenant writes it down in his notebook. Then tears out a page and hands it to you. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone cannot answer. The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh. Where is Lelystad? The place, I mean. In Oranje, officer. It's, I think, municipality is the term. Nowhere town there. Oranje's map of waterways. This fits with his tattoo. You were almost right, officer. The lieutenant shakes his head like you just missed a shot in darts. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form. You were both from Oranje? Yes, we were compatriots. Did that bring you together? No. He was too old for that, and from another part of Oranje Riek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje, it was bad habits. How old was he, miss? He was 42. 42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50. He had many scars that made him appear older, but no, the memory makes a smile. We even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me. We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up. The lieutenant makes a correction in his notes. A miss. His eye color? Blue, light blue. They were like... She stops, her eyes half closed, then continues. Like little blue galaxies, you know. It was strange seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. She takes a drag. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly, and he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, but with all the scarring, it was quite something watching him speak. He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth. Yes, severe. She seems to enjoy the words. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes. Ah, yes. Lieutenant suddenly remembers. His hair, if you can remember? It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Interesting. I too have stroked his hair. Oily, isn't it? She says, unfazed. She draws on a cigarette and lets the smoke linger for a moment in the mouth. We have that in common now. She understands what autopsies entail. It doesn't get her off balance. He had a tattoo. What did it mean? Oh, she smiles. That. It's clear she liked it. You liked it? Quite a lot, yes. It was an Orange's map of the waterways. Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. For showing off to chicks? How so? How? She leans back. Imagine him lying in bed, freakish musculature, laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course, tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. He's smoking and drinking, of course, and his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like... She points at the air with her sharp nailed finger, picking out an imaginary tattoo star. What was this, baby? And he says, she lowers her voice comically, that was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that. So she goes, okay, but what's this, baby? And he's like, saw some bad shit there, killed some loincloths. And so it goes, star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. You were the woman in this? Ah, yeah. She nods. Can you tell us precisely what these mean? No, thank you. She doesn't take it. I've seen enough of him dead, but I can tell you what they meant without looking at them. She pours herself some more coffee. Go on. He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer for money. He went to Killer Academy in Redford. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands and on other islands too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Komme ich bei eBay? Okay. Alles klar. Thank you for clearing that up. Tell me something odd. Did he enjoy his death? Why do you ask? She seems unsurprised. Just have her answer the question, don't give explanations. Please answer the question, miss. Did he enjoy the moment of his death? I don't think he enjoyed dying, officer. He had too much left to do. Too many third world conflicts. Couldn't tap out just yet. Alles klar, kein Problem. Could it be love that did him in? It very well could be, yes. What do you mean? What do I mean? She raises an eyebrow. I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does it mean? He told me love did him in. That's not funny, officer. Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up. There, she momentarily lost control over straight back guy. It appears that she feels guilty. Do you feel guilty? Of course I do. I'm hungover. I feel guilty about everything. Do you feel guilty about what happened to him? Among many other things, yes. I could have done something. There's always something you can do, right? She looks into her coffee. Ask me something else. Something miraculous is coming. He told me. The man next to you blinks. His expression does not change. Alright, let's see where this is going. From way out in the northwest, he told me. Cool. Woman nods. We requested a semen screening from processing. Good for you. What do you think it will tell us? I don't know how a semen sample works, officers. How many days after intercourse does it have to be? I don't even know if he had sex with someone else. We didn't go steady. Is she avoiding anything? Technically not. Technically not? Come on, man, listen, you can't trust them. It's just you and me. I think we're finished with this line of questioning. Alright. Lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Okay. Yes! Nice. A rifle, revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46mm from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique. Make. The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Bell Margraf rifle. Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insolidian theater of the Antecentennial Revolution, 50 years ago. Is anyone still making these rifles? No, but Siliga, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling. Who uses Bell Margraf rifles these days? Antique enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for a well-preserved antique, most likely. The lieutenant jots something down in his notebook. What are you thinking? Bullet? I think I know where this came from. Okay, and? The shot probably came from a Bell Margraf rifle. An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Revachol, really. Why not? Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy have been effective, from what I've seen. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end. Makes you consider every shot. I like it. Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation. Have well-armed Jamrock bangers started crossing over into Martinez? Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself. Okay. Manufactured bullet immer noch. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. It's close enough to the ledge up there, one can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence. Someone hid a key in the bush. Ah, the big guy looks behind him. Can you let me slide by so I can grab the key? I don't know about that. The tattooed man yawns and settles more comfortably on the bench. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now. Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite. I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there. With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch and slides it across the table to you. Oh, cool, danke. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched to its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence. Come on, man, we were just having some fun. Where's the harm in... I'm tired of listening to your shit. Thank you. Of yourself. Make it up to me, cop. Still got my money on that. Hab ich doch schon. In einem anderen Universum. Does anyone know why this key was hanging right outside the Union box window? Didn't even know it was there. The man looked at the key in your hand, then around in the room. Boys? No idea. Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before the room became our place. Wonder what door does it open? It could open the door in the kitchen, the blue door. He looks at the key in your hand. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there? Key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years, but then the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist, a tomb, haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No, smells like engine grease and cut wood, a workshop. Haha. This pinball says Franco-Nigerian. Pinball is white Diora. Backglass shows a female figure in mourning. All these mesmerizing machines just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Run your finger across the dust. Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white robed woman. What's white Diora? Some kind of... He looks around thinking. Inane pinball theme. Probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst. Lieutenant grimaces looking at the machines. Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim. No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on. How about we fire one of these bad boys up and play some ball? You can't fire them up. They're broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball. Looks away. What a dumb name, Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. What about that other one, the Franco-Nigerian ball? Wanna play that? No. Kim Kitsuragi. It's strange that he doesn't like pinball. Kim here is a zeolite. His people are incredibly dexterous. And they all love pinball. Matter of fact, hey, didn't you guys like invent pinball? Us guys? Stop. Okay. No matter. This is a failure. I'm failing and I'm going to stop. Okay. He thinks for a moment. I don't like pinball because I had to learn to do it for an undercover job at a pinball ring. And it's a lame, boring and unchallenging game. There. We can move on now. Super. Tip top. This went pretty well, all things considered. Let's see. Move then. What? Note NB. The spare key is tied to the bush outside of the corner room window. The small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The lattice cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Look in. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There's a control panel to your right and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads last maintenance 10th of July 88. Look at the elevator controls. They are large rectangular buttons. Montée, descendre, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. It says the last maintenance was in 88. That it does. Lieutenant peeks in. I say, let's brave it. This elevator was last maintained in the future? No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century. So it's not a message from the future? No. I think the bureaucrats just forgot about the back room elevator after the revolution. I wonder what this elevator was used for. Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint. He taps the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. Close the doors and go up. Yeah. Small windows taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Schematics for pinball machine, futurism themed. Pinball machine is being taken apart and gutted. There's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side. You can almost see the shape of a man and woman writhing inside, bathed in drug, sweat, and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere. I think I can see into Clausia's bedroom from here. Leans closer to inspect the peephole. You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, he points to the marks nearby on the floor. Definitely suspicious. What were those people doing in there? You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural. Clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor. Jackpot. The lieutenant takes out his notebook. These, unlike everything else here, are new. Someone's been here within the last week or two. 3 weeks maximum. From the dust coverage, it could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer, he looks at you. This is good, he likes it. That's a little smile there, in the dark of the workshop. The Blue Door was a mega investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, which I would say is quite large. Yeah. Okay, what does this mean? It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route behind Clausia's room in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant. Let's have a closer look then. Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. The prints look like one person went back and forth. Between that, he points to the elevator doors in the corner, and that, he points to the barred door. This print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging cam. He inspects the tracks closer. The size looks about the same actually. They are not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. This doesn't look like the worker's boots from the hanging, does it? No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom made to me, or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though. Get up. Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor. Let's move on.
Hello, officer.
It's you again. What is it?
So I talked to Classy about the tape. And nothing. She stands by what she said. That fucking fucker. He stares at his beer for 2 seconds, intently, then turns to you. You're the worst cops in Rauschall. I gave you gold on the tape. You pretty much laughed it off, Titus. Fucking fuckity fucker. He shakes his head in disbelief. And what did she say then? That it's fine? People are supposed to be like that? Sounds like he wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal. If anything... Moment. Verbindung verloren. Schon wieder. Drecks OBS, ey. Dann ist es wieder dieses Kackproblem, wo ich wieder alles neu starten darf.